You know that sweater you find in your closet after you've been decluttering, organizing, spring cleaning, and then you're like, oh, I totally forgot I had this, and you're super excited to wear it? That's how I feel about these makeup products. These are products that I, for one reason or another, completely forgot about. So I wanted to use them again today, remind myself, why is it that I forgot about these? Did I literally just lose them? Did I stop using them because they were bad? What's the reason? We're gonna be detectives today. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. It really means so much to me. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. So I actually have two priming products. One is a spray, one is a traditional primer, and they're both from NYX. The spray is the Plump Finish with Electrolytes spray from NYX, and I think this launched 2 or 3 years ago. NYX was doing like a bunch of electrolyte products. The primer that I'm going to use actually has electrolytes as well. I don't know what that's all about. Oh! Wow, that was like a water gun to the face. Maybe that's why I stopped using it. Whoa, holy moly. Let me back up here. Ooh, the sprayer. The sprayer is not good. What in the world? I don't know why I like this. I'm like really trying to evenly douse my face, but oh my gosh, I feel like I'm getting soaked. I can't do it. Nope. I think I'm gonna have to declutter this. That sprayer is intense. Was it always like this? Is it just old and got clogged up or something? Because I don't know how I used that before. Okay, maybe that's why it's been forgotten. The primer, like I said, has electrolytes as well, but I actually really love this primer. It's the Plump Right Back with Electrolytes Plumping Serum Primer. This is a sticky grip primer, sort of like the e.l.f. Power Grip, but it's a little bit less intense, and I think I just stopped using it because I've been using the CoverGirl sticky grip primer that they recently launched, and the e.l.f. one a lot. In the summertime, that one is just like super glue for your makeup, so it really helps to keep things in place. But I like this one because it's very hydrating. So in the fall and winter when my skin's a little bit more dry, this is really nice because not only does it give you that slight tacky finish that helps to grip onto your makeup, it really does give your skin a subtle glow and hydrate your skin nicely. So, ooh. This feels so good. I'm gonna have to start using this again. I think I just got caught up using this new CoverGirl primer that I completely forgot about. This next one, it feels so good. Out of all the sticky primers that I own, this is the least intense, this is middle, and this is like super glue. But they're all great. They just serve different purposes for me. Ooh, this feels so good. I'm excited. I'm excited to put this in the rotation again. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is where I used it up. So this is all empty because I used it so much. Ooh, that is good. A foundation I completely forgot about is this little Tarte Cloud Coverage. I think I got this as a sample, or I don't even know how this came into my life, but we're still acquaintances. We're not even friends. I got it a long time ago, and then I think I maybe used it once and it was too dark. The shade didn't work for me, so maybe that's why I forgot about it. I want to test it out to get my full thoughts because I literally just don't even know if this product would be something that works for me. I think the shade will work for me better now because I'm a little bit tan. This one is in 22N Light Neutral. From what I remember, it's supposed to be a more satin, matte, smoothing sort of product, and that really intrigued me because I personally, even though I have dry skin, I do like a product that is a bit more smoothing. So I'm just tapping that in with my Rare Beauty foundation brush. It's blending in really nicely. I think this is a good shade for me right now. I'm gonna take a little bit more from my forehead because we got a lot of real estate up there. It's a thicker texture. It's not one of those runny foundations or skin tints that's going to slide off your hand, but it doesn't feel thick or cakey on the skin. It's definitely a lighter coverage. You could probably build it up to medium coverage, but it's not a full coverage product. I don't know if I would say it's necessarily smoothing. I can still see my texture, pores, all that stuff, I thought it was going to be similar to my NYX Blur Tint. Maybe it's the purple that's throwing me off, but I would say the NYX is a little bit more mattifying and actually more smoothing. This one has more of a natural finish. It's not dewy, but you can still see a little bit of glow, and it's not as smoothing as the NYX. So we'll see how it wears. So far it's good, but it's not like blowing my socks off. I also kind of intentionally forgot about this Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Light Concealer. The reason why I intentionally forgot about this is because it always creases on me and it just isn't the most flattering under my eyes. This is a more luminous concealer. It almost has like a pearlescence to it. I'm actually gonna let it sit for a second because it doesn't give full coverage either. So I purchased this because I am a big fan of the Born This Way concealer, the original. It's a really great full coverage concealer. And this one is supposed to be the clean girl sister. I just don't find them to be related at all. If I'm honest, this is not in the same ballpark. It is very, very light coverage. It feels a little bit like oily on the skin. It has that pearlescence and it just doesn't wear the best. The original Born This Way concealer does not crease on me very much at all. And this one just doesn't stay put. It sort of emphasizes the hollowness under my eyes, probably because of that luminescence that it has. So I don't know. I've been trying to keep it around in my collection because it was expensive, but I'm just like actively avoiding this concealer. So I guess that tells me that maybe I should get rid of it. See if it'll cover up any of these blemishes. And this one is in the shade Graham Cracker, by the way. I love the packaging. Super pretty. I feel like this concealer looks okay because it has that light bounce back right here. It almost makes me look more tired. So I don't know. It's okay, but I don't think I would repurchase it. So I don't have any more cream products that I've forgotten about. Honestly, creams have been all the rage, so I've been using a lot of cream and liquids, but my powders have been very forgotten and neglected. And one of them that does not deserve that neglect is the LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder. This was one of my favorite setting powders for so long. I was using it nonstop. And again, it just kind of got pushed to the back of my drawer and I forgot about her, which is not fair to her because she did nothing wrong. And you can see right away it's cutting that shine. But the thing that I like about this powder so much is that it sets my makeup without making my skin look dry, crepey, but it also mattifies and smooths. And I am very picky with powder because as someone with more dehydrated skin, dry skin, a lot of powders just do not work for me. But this one is a really great one. When I find a powder that works for me, I just kind of get stuck in a rut. You know, I want to switch up my blushes a lot. I want to play with my eyeshadow, but when I'm doing my powder, I just reach for one that I know is going to work because I don't want to take a chance of it looking bad. For example, when I start using my Pat McGrath powder, I just always reach for this. It's just like autopilot. I know it's going to work, so I reach for it. Or my Sigma powder, I've been on a kick with this lately. I know it looks super smooth and airbrushed, so I just reach for that. So powder's just not one of those things that I'm rotating through as much, and I think that's why I sort of forgot about this one. But I need to pull it back out because it is a really great powder. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and lightly set my cheeks as well, just because I am going to be going in with powders. LYS is such a good brand. I've loved everything I've tried from this brand. Their concealer, the cream blush, their stick bronzer, and their powder. They're all amazing. So good. And they're like one of the most affordable brands at Sephora. I need to not forget about them. They're so good. They deserve all the love. I got this for Christmas from my mom. It's the face palette in Fleuever Nude. Their Divine Blush, Bronze, and Glow Trio. So you get Nude Honey, Pink Peony, and Opal Allure. You get a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. And I actually really love this palette. The bronzer blends out in 2 seconds. It takes no effort. It's just a basic matte bronzer, but there's something about it that just looks like skin, and you can just slap it on your face like I'm doing right now. So easy. It never looks patchy. And I like the tone of this because it has a bit of warmth to it, but it's not orange at all. The reason why I forgot about this is because I just don't tend to reach for face palettes that much, which is so sad because I have so many great face palettes, but for some reason I just don't find myself reaching for them that much. But I need to make an effort to pull this out because, I mean, that bronzer is freaking fantastic. I have a different blush that I want to use today, but let's pop the highlighter on. This highlighter might not necessarily go with the look because it has a little bit more of a pinky reflect, but it's fine. I really like this highlighter too. It's a little bit on the powdery side, but it does buff into the skin nicely, and you can see it gives you like just a subtle, like dewy kind of glow. It almost looks like a cream. Wow, that looks more intense because I didn't tap off my brush, but it's really pretty. It's not glittery or sparkly, but I like how you can kind of buff it out for something more natural. But you can see here, you can definitely build that sucker up. My skin has more of an olivey undertone, so I don't tend to reach for pinky highlights that often. I think that might be a contributing factor to why I don't necessarily reach for this palette that much, is because I love the bronzer, but the highlight just doesn't necessarily suit my skin tone the best. And the blush is pretty, but I have a million pink blushes. You know, I'm not gonna reach for a huge palette like this just for a bronzer. Ooh, that is a gorgeous highlight though. It's intense, but it doesn't emphasize texture really. It doesn't look chunky on the skin. That's so pretty. I wish it was a little bit more neutral. For blush, I wanted to use this Flower Beauty Flower Pots powder blush in the shade Spiced Petal. Whatever happened to Flower Beauty? Drew Barrymore shut down her website a long time ago and it just never really came back, but I hope they do because I love a lot of Flower Beauty products, and especially this blush. I freaking love the tone of this. It is so perfect for summertime. Ooh, it's so pretty. This was in a favorites video maybe a year or so ago. It just gives you like that sunburnt look without being too red. It's like a bronzy blush. Oh, it's gorgeous. I forgot about this because I literally lost it. It was in like an old makeup bag that got shoved in a closet somewhere, so it just wasn't even in my collection. And then I was going through my makeup bags and I was like, hello, old friend. I'm so happy I found you again. That is a pretty blush. I've been really into bronzy nude blushes lately. Love it. Another old favorite I forgot about, these Matte Fix lip pencils from About Face, specifically this one in the shade Clockwork. We had a love affair. It needs to be sharpened. We had a love affair for a solid year. This was pretty much all that I was using for a while there. It's a deeper brown with a little bit of rosiness to it, and for some reason this was like all I could have on my lips for the longest time. And I really love the formula of this because it is so long wearing. It's very, very creamy, so you gotta be careful because it can get intense quickly. But once it sets down, this baby is not budging. I wish it was slightly drier, and that's coming from someone who loves a creamy pencil. But this is a little bit almost too melty, but I don't even care because I love the longevity of it. And that tone is giving 90s supermodel in the best way possible. Ooh. I can already feel it starting to set down. It's not dry, but you can feel it set down. And like I said, I love me some long-lasting lip liner. These little baby lips need all the help they can get. All right, I'm gonna let that set down before I add the lipstick. For eyes, I completely forgot I had this little Kaja sparkling eye pigment. I have the shade Moon Crystal. It is such a beautiful brown with like a slight purpley red undertone and a lot of olivey silver reflect. It's such a cool multi-dimensional shade. I just don't find myself reaching for liquid shadows as much. I've been trying to get more into it and use the ones up that I have. They're just a little messy sometimes, especially when they come in a little squeeze tube like this. It's just, I have to remove it before it dries down, and it's just a whole thing, and I'm lazy. But I really need to get more use out of this because liquid shadows are some of the best for like creating a one and done eyeshadow look because they have so much dimension usually that you can kind of just pop them in the crease all over the lid. And they usually last a long time on me because I don't have super oily eyelids. We're just gonna pop this all over the lid and in the crease. I like how I'm able to build upon the shadow as well. Sometimes with liquid shadows, they can get a little chunky, funky, patchy if you start trying to build on top of them. But this one seems to be layering really nicely. And you get a good amount of working time. So you don't have to hyperventilate, anxiously blending. With some shadows you kind of have to because they just dry so fast. And now for the star of the show, the glitter I should have never forgotten about. This is the Fractal eye paint from About Face, specifically in the shade Tan Pan Alley. This is the most gorgeous glitter topper ever. And again, we had a love affair and then we parted ways for some reason. I guess I was just using other things. We just drifted apart, but doesn't mean that she is not gorgeous. And it is just the most pretty topper. You can literally put it over everything because it has a translucent base, but it is going to add a lot of highlight, dimension, jazz to any eyeshadow look. There was a time when I was putting this over everything, and we might go back to that time because this is stunning. Just takes it to the next level. It's got like gold, green little reflex in it, but they're not super chunky, and it goes really well with that Kaja shadow. If I'm gonna use a liquid shadow, this is the best thing about a liquid shadow. It can really hold on to glitters and sparkles. So can't highly recommend this enough. I've tried the matte ones from About Face. They're good, but the sparkle is really where it's at. Let's pop on a lipstick really quick and then I'll go off camera to do my mascara and lashes. I have two lipsticks that I sadly forgot about. One is from e.l.f., one is from Bareminerals. I think the reason why these are the two lip products I forgot about is honestly just because I usually don't reach for a traditional lipstick anymore, like a bullet lipstick. I'm usually going for like a tinted lip balm, something glossy, or even like a lip stain. I have the Bareminerals in the shade Grace, which is a little bit more pinky peachy. And then we also have the e.l.f. in the shade No Doubt, which I think will go with this look better. Oh yeah, we're going for the 90s look today, huh? The e.l.f. is a matte formula, whereas the Bareminerals has a little bit more of a sheen to it. And I do find the Bareminerals to be slightly more hydrating, but this is not drying. I'm just so used to the glossy finish. And I really like the packaging of this. It has that magnetic clasp, the soft matte touch. All right, before I put on mascara, I am gonna set the face, and a setting spray that I forgot about is this Porefessional Super Setter from Benefit. This is the travel size. It's pretty much almost empty. I think that's kind of why I stopped using it. I just maybe didn't want to run out of it, which is dumb. I should just finish it. Ah, just got my eye. Ah, I couldn't feel it, so I opened my eyes to see if it was working, and then I get in my eyes. The spray on this is 1,000 times nicer than them NYX. Woo. I do want to add a gloss. I'm going to take this Fat Oil Lip Drip from NYX in the shade Splash of Cream. This is actually a new shade, and I've been loving it. So yeah, guys, those are all of the products that I forgot about for one reason or another. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.
I can take you anywhere, I could take you home. I just wanna be there so you never feel alone.